Yes, let's see. I'm just trying to make sure my stream is live. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. There is quite a bit of Guinea here. The content. Let's check the content. Yeah. I don't know what's. What do you mean? I've captured my encoder. Now the problem I have is at Zuku. I upgraded my package, but they even added something to tell me to stay. What the hell, man? I'm having issues. I'm having issues. So should be checking in right now, real quick to. What the hell is going on here? Let's do that. Let's do that. I have no idea why my stream is not like I've said go live. Like what is? What is? What is? Oh my goodness! Is my stream going to hell already? In a handbasket? Is the stream going to hell on a handbasket? Now if I am not able to stream this, I will not be very happy. Go live. Go live. Go live. Go live. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. I have checked everything. It's telling me it's live. So you mean connect the encoder? I've done that already. What do you mean? What do you mean? Now, this is what I don't like about these internet services. Now, anyway, I have no idea what's going on, but I am gonna. What the hell? What do you mean? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Okay, I know what the problem is. I know what the problem is. Wow. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So it's like it's on a bit, but this is an issue. But I am going to go ahead. Welcome back to the channel. I have not done this stream for more than a month, and this is Monday to Friday. Now I'm trying to work out the times between 10 a.m. and either 10 a.m. or 4 p.m. So I'm still checking to see what works. So I was with this stream, Albo and Omera. Omera is right there in diaspora there in California. We should be picking up with the streams on Saturday. So we'll be doing a Saturday stream with him, just to see what's going on in America and whatnot. And we do a back and forth about current issues, whatever the case may be. So now we'll start with the first things first. And that is a week or so ago, Britain had their summer election, not the main elections, but local elections. And there's been quite a, how do I call this? It's been something to watch because, like locally in Kenya, we have parties that are not like constant. You have ODM, PNU, but we used to have KANU, we have DP. There are so many parties because we know how we do our politics. But you see, in the Western world and a lot of these countries, you have like one or two. You have some 2 or 3 others that are smaller ones that can create some msuko-suko, but generally speaking, they have like two major parties, like in America, Democrats, Republicans, Conservatives, and Labour here in Britain. So these parties, they seem to have done enough for people to say, enough, let's get new people in. And I really wanted to discuss this because of just how profound it was, at the same time to reflect on what we are going on here. It's not so much a one-on-one as much as, because we've never had like one or two party. We had one party can, then after that there's just a plethora of them. So we're going to listen in. I'm going to give you my commentary as usual. So we listen to a few people. This is on, I believe, Sky, and then a few other people, independent commentary. Then tutaendelea na topics zingine. Twende.
I am delighted to be here in the sunshine outside Havering Town Hall, which I can now say is under new management. And I'm and it's significant.
So I want you guys to remember one thing. This is the guy, like when they were doing the Brexit thing, he's one of the guys who led that movement. So locally in Britain, these guys are very popular. If you watch the media, you wouldn't think so, because they are, they are called the bad people, the far right or whatever. Because those terms, racist and whatnot, they've lost their meaning. So, but the mainstream and a lot of these mainstream politicians continue to regurgitate these sentiments because there are some woke people, leftists, who are basically will believe anything as long as it panders to their sensibilities of identity and whatnot. But in this particular case, these are the people. I'm just giving you a bit of a preamble. These are the people who are leading that. They're against mass migration. There's a lot of social programs they're against, because although in Britain everybody kind of likes those social programs because there are a lot of them make money from it. But yeah, so mainly it's a migration thing, and they have the Islam versus Christian thing. There's Indians. The politicians have let in so many people that the native population is not happy. So that's why you're seeing this primarily.
Win of a borough in London, and that in some ways goes against the trend, because the pattern that's emerging over the country is that Labour are being wiped out by reform in many of their most traditional areas, and what you're going to see later on today is the Conservative Party being wiped out in their heartlands like Essex. So London goes a bit against the trend.
And you see this party is going against Conservatives also, and these Labour people, the leftists. So the biggest takeaway from this, at least so far, is that the politics of the world is changing dramatically. And for those of us or you who follow it, you have to realize that there are ideologies that are being pushed, that wherever you are in the world, your hand will be forced one way or another to follow one or the other. All right? Because it's not so much what we believe, saying our traditional values. There's nothing like that. We don't have the power to force those upon anyone. So most of our values are actually Western values. If you look at a lot of the Africa and we follow Western values mostly. Even our governments and whatnot, we follow Western values. So there is this connection we have, but also, we've had our msukosukos and our own identity politics. Oh, the colonialists. I'm usually dead when you guys talk about the colonialists, because it is kind of a cop-out. I need to check something here. It's kind of a cop-out for people who are trying to defend the mediocrity we live at this in Africa and whatnot. But anyway, let me continue. I can talk.
That the Conservatives and Labour have held up in some of the other boroughs. But I think overall what's happened is a truly historic shift in British politics. We've been so used to thinking about politics in terms of left and right, and yet what Reform are able to do is to win in areas that have always been conservative, but equally, we're proving in a big way, we can win in areas that Labour have dominated, frankly, since the end of World War I.
God damn.
At the moment, we're winning
Imagine beating, ruling a place for that long, for like 100 years, then people just come and they just remove you. Because over all this time, your policies and the way you do things has been so horrendous that people are just had enough. You know, the normal, you stick on your side, and what they said, both of you are not on my side. So we'll just create a new one. So a lot of these politicians are extracting themselves from that two-party system so they can run on their own, and they're being joined by new ones. And it's a thing right now. And I think in Kenya we should borrow somewhat from principled opposition and principled government, in that we know what you can or cannot vote for, because we don't have that. As we vote for our guy is a thief, but he's my guy. So I'm not saying it's not the case here, but it's a lot more here. I don't think we have any kind of, can we talk about our philosophies in politics and economics and whatnot? No, we can't. As just saying, check kitu kidogo tuendelee.
3 of all the seats that are up. But I genuinely think the best is yet to come. I'm very excited about the Northeast results, the Yorkshire results.
Now, there's another party called Restore. So there's Reform and there's Restore. Those two seems to be the ones on the up right now, and they're taking all the support from these two traditional parties. And there's another one called the Greens, the people of climate change. They're also there. But it's really not climate change, just climate change and walk in general.
We're feeling supremely confident, and that's significant given that half the Cheddar cabinet have seats in Essex. So it's a big, big day. It's a big, big day, not just for our party, but for a complete reshaping of British politics in every way. And it all goes to show that over the course of the last 2 years, since we made that breakthrough in the general election, we have professionalised the party. We've done it at a very, very rapid rate.
Yeah, so this is, I was just trying to show you, this is the guy who people say is going to be the next prime minister, because this is the local elections, but it seems that even the general election is going to win. So it is what it is. In fact, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of these guys, we don't really know where they stand until they get, whatever people tell you, they tell you. But when they get into government, that's when you know where they really stand. So this guy is more anti-immigration and whatnot. So, but also sometimes he says they can't really deport people. So it becomes a back and forth. And that's why actually this Restore came up. I confused them, Restore, Reform. So it came up because they thought this Nigel fellow was not being honest on that immigration aspect. So this is what I would say democracy looks like, when if people are not pleased with you enough, even with the propaganda and whatnot, they'll just form other parties and they will, what's the word? They'll just leave your party alone. So what I'm going to do next is to follow up on a report made by a different media house. This is GB News, so that they can also give you your bit. So you see, this is sampling different opinions. That was Sky, GB News.
But it's been a huge victory today for this guy.
Outside Havering Town Hall, which I can now say is under new management.
Wow, Reform have won more than 1,400 seats so far. They won all 12 seats up for grabs in Hartlepool.
Okay, so this is Labour. That's like the main leftist party. Conservatives, 771, 929. Then Reform, 1428. Then, I don't know, Lib Dems? Is this Lib Dems? Liberal Democrats, 800. Greens. These are the ones I was telling you, the plant people. 400 and other 199. So I suspect Reform, or one of them, is it Reform? No, Restore is over here. But the Restore didn't have like money and resources to put everyone everywhere. So they did like where their strongholds are, and that's where this is. So yeah, tuendele.
In Wigan, they smashed Labour in Tameside. They've taken control of Essex County Council, Sunderland Council, Suffolk County Council, Newcastle under Lyme Borough Council, Havering London Borough Council. I mean, just look how well they've done in Wales as well. I mean, it's remarkable what they've done in Wales, considering they were on pretty much a standing start there, the second largest
it's
party.
weird how these guys, they have Wales and everyone else, Scotland, they do politics together, but also they claim to be different countries. It's just a weird thing. UK, United Kingdom, is it everything?
Few seats behind Plaid, and there wouldn't have actually even been local elections in many of these places if Nigel Farage hadn't taken the Labour government to court and won after Starmer wanted to block them. It's been a turquoise tidal wave, which of course means a massive left-wing meltdown.
Absolutely no faith left in the British public anymore.
These guys always look the same. These woke people, they always look so... Like, what happened to these people?
You are voting purely based on your bigotry and your racism and your misogyny and your hatred.
You see, this is the nonsense that the people just can't stand anymore. It's like when you lose an election and they're telling you why. You see, because the people will say that you're anti-immigrant, so they call them racists. But in my opinion, you go everywhere. People look at South Africans. Sometime back here with Somalis from Somalia now during the civil war and after that and whatnot. It is nativism. People in their home country want to be in their home country and they want to call shots in their home country. But this, in the West, we have these types of people, the woke ones, who have put everyone and everything else in terms of the politics other than the natives. Like, they are fellow white people. They're just, now the leftist white people call the other white people bad so that these leftist people can be given the power to handle the business. That's basically the sentiment. But the worst thing about this is that these guys have the same argument and they use the same words, as many of those buzzwords they can use as possible. Okay, I need to talk to my neighbor. This kid is just going berserk here and I'm trying to work. So just hold on one moment. Let me pause my audio so that you don't hear the noise. Sorry about that. That kid was getting a bit too belligerent. Haya, twende kazi.
We'll check back in with her in a moment, just see how she's getting on. But look at this.
Also,
okay,
these
like
are kind of
editor-
making fun of these people who are throwing a tantrum. You see, the thing is, when you lose an election, you kind of want to accept. You know, like here, I didn't vote for Ruto, but he won. And while I was depressed, I didn't because I knew what was coming. I accepted it because when in this democracy, when people choose, you have to accept it, even if it's a bad choice, so that people can feel the consequences of their actions. That's usually the best antidote to these decisions. Although for us, it will take a few more generations. But anyway.
Of the Muslim news network Five Pillars, Roshan Salah, he declared the entire county of Essex is racist and Islamophobic, so don't go.
You see, this kind of sentiments, and that people want you to make very serious political decisions with emotions. All this saying racism, Islamophobia, I don't know, misogyny, blah, blah. That's all trying to, push emotions over the logical and thinking of why you're voting for someone. And they've used this for a long time, and they've allowed, unfortunately, people have been allowed to be blackmailed by such terms to support nonsense. Anyway, tuendelee.
There, apparently, don't go there. Matthew Stadlen says it's been a bad night for reform.
think?
Actually, it's been bad. These results are bad for reform. Well, if Stadlen says it, then it must be true, because he's always right. Like the time that he
Right,
boldly
there's
predicted...
a lot of noise. Let me see if I can do a cancelling. I'm trying to cancel just the background a bit. I hope it's better.
that Kamala Harris was going to win the US election. So, ooh, yeah, there we are. Let's just see how that left-wing woman's getting on.
We inevitably end up with a formed government because of all these racist morons.
Are these people mentally okay? Do you think your entire political argument, these people are racist? No economics, no looking at the programs. No, just shout patriarchy, misogyny, and racist, and hope everybody votes for what you want. That's the argument. That's the entirety of this person's argument, this ridiculous-looking human being.
She's still going. She's still going. Do you remember when Andrew Marr said this after Labour won the election?
And suddenly, for once, for the first time in many of our lives, actually Britain looks like a little haven of peace and stability, and that in itself is going to draw money into this country.
This is what gaslighting looks like, when they talk like they lie to you blatantly to tell you, oh, this is bad, it was bad, now we are back in. And what I remember when Joe Biden was being voted in, they were saying, oh, the grown-ups are back in office. The guy was asleep most of the time. And then you hear what those guys have to offer. It's like, grown-ups? You guys can't describe what a woman is. So how are you the grown-up?
Oh, they just reveal themselves, don't they? Well, here he is today.
As we sit here now, Nigel Farage is going to be the next Prime Minister. I think we are on course for a reform victory at the next election.
Oh, it's how times change, eh? How times change. And shall we spare a thought for Gary Neville?
The division that's being created is absolutely disgusting. Mainly created by angry, middle-aged white men.
You know, these woke people, especially these celebs who think they'll just come, just call people names. You know, you see, imagine come here and saying middle-aged Kisi men are the ones who are... Like, you see, you just choose an entire demographic. The most people that are there, that their country, they are citizens there. And you decide because you have to woke signal. This is called woke signaling. You have to tell the woke, you know, me, I'm against these conservatives, you know. So we have a buffoon like this guy acting like he's Martin Luther vanilla. You know, all these celebs, a lot of them just want to be, they all want to look like, you know, the moral grandstanding, activism, the wokeness, the leftists. It's so, because of this guy, he even has worse football takes. Gary, it's happening. It's happening, whether you like it or not, Gary. running your short ass mouth here for a whole season.
who know exactly what they're doing.
Ironically, I reckon today he's quite an angry middle-aged white man, isn't he? Yeah, I bet he's gutted. Lewis Goodall said that Birmingham was just a lovely little multicultural success story. Then he went up to Birmingham in the run-up to this election and he realised that he'd got that badly wrong.
I've led a campaign against Jewish apartheid in Gaza.
Right.
In Gaza, in Palestine.
This thing of Gaza has become such a grift for so many people, these leftists. Because the thing is, I always ask people, okay, you did the October 7th thing. What did you expect the Israelis to do in return? Cower and hide? What did you expect them to do? Because I've never gotten an answer. The people just jump, no, it is apartheid. They took. So I was trying to talk to some guy about, okay, how far back are we going to see who attacked who first? If you play that game, you never win. The thing is, first of all, Israel is not going anywhere. So this thing of saying the river to the sea, nonsense. If you're going to force it like they did all those years back, they attacked it and they were destroyed, you do what you gotta do. But you have to understand that whatever you are asking for, demanding, you'll never achieve. You can use it as a political grift, especially these Muslims who are in Europe pretending that their homes are so great, that Islam is so great. They're just grifting. A guy like this, oh, it is apartheid. By the way, I don't care. Yeah, I've tried, I've listened to people virtue signal. Some of the most corrupt people I've ever met in my life. Because on these X streets and what? The liar scumbags talking about, Gaza, apartheid. You guys can't answer. You want to bully everyone and emotionally manipulate people to support your entire agendas. I can never be there.
You've led against that.
Your puppet masters, the Zionist regime.
You see, this is the problem. You see, like, there are about 16 million Jews in the world. Like, this thing I always hear. But right now, every bad thing happening here, America, is being blamed on the Jews. Do you know who else did that? I know everybody thinks it's so cool now to do it, but I can't join that nonsense because it's nonsensical. Because you can't answer the other side. What does the other side want from Israel, or what do you think they want for Israel? What do you think they want of Jews to happen to the Jews? What do you think? You never want to answer that because you just want to scream, genocide. Shut up. Yes, I've said it. What do you want? What do you think this Hamas and Palestinians and Iran and what do you think they want with Israel? They say it. I want you to go and listen to them chant it. Then tell me why that country should tolerate that. And you think you'll emotionally manipulate them to become weaker and not take care of their security? You're mad.
The Palestinians suffer.
Yeah, but that was a tough lesson for him, wasn't it, that, really? It's not a mystery as to why Reform have done so well. While Labour ministers have previously said stuff like this.
We don't just want to hear an apology, we want reparation.
Nigel Farage has said stuff like this.
Now, this is what I want you guys to learn about this story. Let's take it back a little bit. This issue of immigration, and especially large-scale immigration from the third world like us to the first world, it is a political thing. It's a political tool being used mostly by parties that lean left. They want the mass immigration. They've been conditioned to think that they're helping out the people who actually push it on the ground. But the bigger people, the people at the top, know why they're doing it. They want cheap labor that won't question them too much about how much and whatnot. And also they want a buffer in terms of voters. So imagine you go to a country like UK and then you're given free things, social security or whatever, one of those things. You're given a free phone, a free house, or whatnot, and the government gives you a stipend every week or month to live on. How are you not indebted to the people, the party that did that, or at least that pushes that? And that's the entire thing in America. They've done it. So the thing is, whether for better or worse, which I think is worse, I think the third world, especially us people, we are going to these first world countries and pretending that they owe us. You've seen that guy scream about reparations. Nobody is going to really talk about reparations really properly, is it? Like the other day, went to the UN, said, slavery is the worst crime. No, it's not. There's worse crimes, like mass murder and genocide. So the thing is this, the inability for so many people in the world to see these things for what they are is what is leading to these endless emotional outbursts and activists running their mouths about everything and acting like they are the people who are moral arbiters of what we do. This kid is actually just, I'll deal with him later. So that is the problem we have. And you see, the thing is this, because people want to score political points, they don't look at the damage they are doing to their own countries. While they see it, even the people pushing, they're pushing it, and you're seeing things are going down the drain. But like, it was just weird watching America like open its borders, just people coming in their millions. Like, who wouldn't go to America, that big place with everything? Like, are we mad? Do we have a sickness in our minds that we think that's actually a good thing to do, where the rest of the world is poorer than them? People are going. I know people who sold land here to move to the US and corrupt the system to get green cards. I know them. I won't tell ICE, but so that is what is going on. The politics in the West right now, immigration is a big thing. And Britain has made their decision. So that is that for our colonizer. Right now, I want to go to the fuel price. Fuel price, the protest. So, peaceful protest in the Nanyuki town. Kikuyus are very violent. Okay, people already started. So, let's just, so this is Nanyuki town. Let's quickly just pass through. I don't understand, mostly, when you do protests, why you destroy property. She came out to express her political opinions. She did not come out to arrest him. So what is going on here? Reject. So somebody has been sacrificed. Kumi Supu. Okay, what's that? We need to know who funds the Tifa because the looks for today, they lied to Kenya. Okay. Some of us did not research. Okay, there's just so much rubbish here. I'm looking for videos. This matatu are owned by the same person. If the matatu brings home 4,000, today the owner has made a loss of 13, both the driver. So this, I'm going to tell you what I think about this protest after. But Treasury to remain unchanged until June. So let's see what Treasury say.
Whose diesel cost has gone up. Give a final answer to everybody who is, all these people in the transport industry, people in the manufacturing sector.
So the protests, they include the matatus and whatnot. So that's how really, because the last protest that they tried with this thing, or I don't know what it was the last, like cost of living, whatever, it tanked. Primarily because there is no NGO money to push the propaganda. But in this particular one, because the matatus are many and people use them, they're just like our main transportation to work and whatnot. So if that stops, of course it works. And then of course there are very many people, hundreds of thousands, who are involved in the business.
Diesel cost has gone up by that much. People across the country, or now this rise in fuel prices, what is the government prepared to do in response to this cry from the public?
Yeah, what the government is prepared to do is to monitor the situation. We have the next review by 14th of June.
Anyway, you have to
the government is not sensitive enough to look at that review and see the impact it will have. Right now, we know the price of petroleum products as they come, because the ships, the petroleum, the prices that will be announced.
Now, do you understand? You guys realize how badly we shortchange ourselves, because we have oil. They can say, oh, we have oil. Companies were set up, buildings put up in Westlands. We have oil. But something went on somewhere and it changed, and now there's Tanzania, who has sold what to Uganda. Like this, unfortunately, the oil business is just, It's murky across the world. OPEC, America, Venezuela, Russia. It's just murky. Because thing is, they don't want to just allow the free flow of the oil because the prices drop and then they can't make as much profit. I don't know exactly what the rates, profit or the percentages of profits are when they do the thing. I will do that research. I should have done that. But this is the problem we have. So a country like Kenya, with all the things we've done, we do not have the capacity to basically decide energy costs in any rate. Unless the government is subsidized, which means it's coming out from the taxpayer, which means you still get hit somewhere else. So it drives me crazy because we've had the opportunity to have some level of energy independence, but these people are just too corrupt. They're just too myopic. They're just too greedy. They can't do it for the, because these guys love leading poor people because they can look down on you. Instead of being like a leader of rich people, they love leading poor people because there's tiny minds, small minds. Like this man, it's just there because he's now playing ball with Ruto because Raila put him there. We know the entire thing, but he's not competent. And I always ask myself, well, there's a series coming soon when I'm looking at all these politicians. What has this guy ever made? What has he ever invested in? What successful business has he ever done before and after he's been in politics? This is what you should be asking such people before you give them positions of votes. Because actually, this guy is a very incompetent guy. He's just arrogant, but he's extremely incompetent.
In June, already we can
these
determine
guys,
the price.
unfortunately, like our oil, the people who sell oil locally, they own these people. They can bribe them with as much money as they want because they know they can just get the money from you because you can't do anything without fuel.
Yes, because the ships have been loaded and all that. So we will look at the subsidy kitty that we have, the 5 billion,
5 billion
look at if that is not going to be sufficient, if it's going to lead to higher prices, then what do we do? Then we may now come again and see if we can reduce the levy, especially maybe VAT. And if we reduce VAT, we will have to check then what do we cut in terms of expenditure? And that is a whole government approach. So what we probably need
the thing
here
is they need to do all those things, but they don't have competency to execute. This is just talk. It's actually what he's saying is what, because for a country like ours, even anyone else, you kind of have to gauge how is the thing in Iran going, how is the gates of Hormuz, have they opened? Have they, such things, Venezuela, as the oil started now coming out. There are all these things, and you can't really have a handle on it unless you're talking to the main people. Maybe you're talking to the American president or the current Iran, whatever do they call them, president or whatever. You can't know. So the problem we have is that these guys, despite the thing is, first they're incompetent. Then on this other side, they have to analyze a lot of data to try and make this decision, and they just don't have the capacity. Or even the people, like back in the day, you'd say like a PS is very competent, but then the minister and assistant minister are just political figures. Right now, even the PSs are useless. They're bure kabisa. They can't do anything. They don't understand economics, or they do and they don't care to do the job, because it's not really rocket science to build small economies like this.
Into June, what maybe we will advise, I personally would advise EPRA and the Ministry of Energy to do, is to communicate better to Kenyans as we approach June, so that they are not caught.
Just tell them the truth. Tell the Kenyans that we've messed up our oil and we've sold off shares to different people and we are doing some underhand business. We can't really do anything about the cost of the cost of crude in the international market. We can't do anything. So for us, maybe we can take a bit of your taxes here and move them on this other side, and then move this other on this other side, but you still pay the same taxes, probably higher, because we have to subsidize these oil people. Ridiculous.
We have been used to situations where EPRA, it keeps us in the dark. Just like we used to have the budget previously, where people were waiting in the at night for the following day's budget speech to know which prices would increase. That is not there anymore. Probably what now EPRA needs to do, learning from this experience, is to carry people along in terms of communication and tell them, yes, this is what we project. Look, the prices of petroleum products, what they call the Platts price, the index price is this much. The freight costs, the premiums will be this much. Out of that, the government is having a cushioning of this. Then the government can now determine, or we make a decision that are we going to reduce VAT further or reduce whatever further. Then Kenyans know that this is what government can do, and by June 14th, these are the range of prices that we expect is this much.
Okay. Yeah, so you have to understand now this is a litany of issues. Local distributors, international distributors, politicians, you name it. It's not going to calm down because they'll make a lot of money. A lot of these things are not really rocket science. They know what's going to happen. They've already talked to their people. They know what's the change. But to kind of what do they normally do? They try to hedge it so that they don't make any kind of losses or reduced profits, although sometimes it's inevitable. But this is what you are dealing with. So what is this person saying? Treasury's fuel prices to remain unchanged until June. You can demo and sleep on the road, but we don't care. It's you can demo, sleep on the road, but then that won't change prices. You do not have oil to pour into your market so that there's more supply. You do not have the kind of dollar power to buy. There's a lot of things. And Kenyans, a guy like this is complaining because he wants to, root bad. Fine. But this is the thing. These guys have no little power on how much the oil we consume costs. That's just a fact. I know you want to create a thing, but it's just they don't have the power. They don't have the supply, they don't have the connection, they don't have nothing. We are third world. In every sense of the word, we are at the mercy of these superpowers, whether we like it or not. So you can continue to throw your random. So there's someone there in Juja. So when there are protests, you have to know that blood has to be spilled. And that's why for me, actually, let me just go now on this sentiment. That's why every time people call for protests, I'm like, are you mad? All of them you've seen, you're going, there's nothing really. What happens, a lot of thuggery, people get hurt and sometimes they lose their lives. That's what happens. So what are we talking about here? Why do we keep pretending like we have what do we say? Why do we keep pretending that we are going to change things through protests? No, what is going to happen that the people who organize the protests, whether if the politicians or the circles of Matri, they'll push because they have a critical mass, and what they do is very important and it can hurt the economy. So they can push just by their numbers. But all these others, Gen Z, those are organized by NGOs. Depending on the money, they can be big or small. But even now you can see the majority of the impact is by Matatus. It's not by the Gen Zs or there's not. So the people are running around and you're hearing somebody has been shot somewhere or whatever. All those people, they're just now opportunists. People who just come, let's go scream about this. What is the end goal? What happens? That Ruto will see this, or Trump, or someone in Venezuela will see this and say, yeah, we need to reduce the prices. Do you think that's how it works? Because this is equivalent to a child throwing a tantrum. This is what it is, because our activism is very fake. Most of the activism is very fake and is based around lies and manipulations and exaggerations. So what happens is that we have these protests, nothing changes, things get destroyed, people get mugged and robbed and whatnot, others they lose their lives, and then you go back to normal. Because you know what? You guys are going to vote for these people again, because I'm seeing like there's a list of people. All these people that you've put up have either been in government or are in government currently. But in your mind, you've convinced yourself that they'll do better than they're doing now. How does that work again? Tell me. When you're doing these protests and then you say, oh, Sifuna, oh, Babu, oh, what? Like, what do you expect them to do other than what they are doing now when they're in government? That now if you become a president, you'll do better. If you're a senator or an MP or a governor, you can't do these things right now, but you're trying to convince me that you'll vote for these people and they'll change. I mean, we we need some help mentally. Let's just see, this is just people who are fully conditioned, matatus have said no. Yeah, so this is what is going on. Of course, you knew that. Personally, I don't move a lot, so some of these things don't affect me. So fuel is more expensive in Africa's landlocked countries. Yeah, because that's not just fuel; it's everything else. Because they don't have the coastline for things to be shipped. Shipping in is the cheapest way, but if you have to fly in things or you have to ship in to, say, Kenya, then you take road to Uganda, Rwanda, or whatever. That's why we're having issues with Uganda and TZ a lot, because our corrupt politicians want to grab everything. Yeah, so okay, that's normal. Yeah, landlocked and whatnot. So in the current situation, men in blue are hiding number blue, frustrating the common with clear model of frustrating. My God, you guys have such emotional, useless arguments. What are you doing in the street? You're not going to change the prices. What are you talking about? Like, you're just going to rob. Some of you are just going to steal. Some of you just want to go chomoa. You're banning. Why are you banning this vehicle? What did you gain? Did you gain something? This one. Did you gain something from this? You guys, these guys, all these people here, did you gain something by banning this vehicle? Because, oh my goodness, like the person, if this is your vehicle, oh my goodness. This is, I find now there are more thugs than anyone else. So everybody's trying to pretend that they are saving the whole, kumbe they're just setting the people up to steal. Like, why are you banning someone's vehicle now? If that is not the epitome of useless behavior, because you're not going to this to fight about the fuel cost. No, you want to use this as an opportunity to go steal and destroy other people's things. That's why I never support these protests. They're all useless. In fact, I know they don't work for sure. It's a show, it's a PR campaign for one person or the other. Okay, tuendelee, likely when true, in their likely event, wins, he will have to tell Kenyans ametoa hizo kura wapi. He's going to win. And you see, this is the problem, the pretense we have. When you look at Ruto's rallies, it's full of people, thousands and thousands everywhere he goes. People are still taking his handouts. What is this nonsense we are making up that you think because people make noise on X and TikTok? People on the ground don't care about your sentiments. They want the cash money. There's no one who can be voted in unless they pay the voter, unless they give them handouts. Is that true or not? What are we talking about? So all this noise you guys are making, it doesn't reflect what you really are on the ground. Because I've looked at people. I've looked at people like these rallies, everybody's going. Yes, Wakina Sifuna have big ones. Ruto also has big ones. Gachagua has a big one. So all of you are following these corrupt politicians. You go Mnaja, 10,000, there's 50,000. I don't know, 10, because sometimes it looks more than 100,000 even. The people are just like this. It's because you've handed over. You see them as your saviors, and also they are pretending that they are the bad people. You see them as saviors, but then at the same time you say, "Oh, these are bad people, corrupt." Then why you stop following them? Why don't you stop showing up for these rallies? You won't, because you are like them. They're your leaders because they are like you. Let's be real. Okay, acha tuone kidogo kwa street. So they funga tao. Let's see what tao is. What's the crowd?
Those things are illegal. Don't accept. Arrest them.
Stay away.
Kwa kifupi tu tuambie ni ngapi mmeshika? Wangapi mmeshika hivi sasa? You're not aware of how many have been arrested?
The operation is
This is the thing is he can't. He's just standing there on the ground. He can't really know how many people have been arrested. Come on now.
And which other areas are facing challenges apart from CBD? Huh?
We don't have any problem.
Jogo Road.
Normal business.
Our cops.
So far, we have arrested
11.
11. Where are
We
they?
arrest-
Which
yeah,
areas
11,
specifically?
not-
Specifically?
This guy is just guessing, but there's no way he knows that.
Right. Cousin and
Cousin and the la.
Sawa.
Yes, Sawa. So okay, so Sawa stopped. Let's see. Global diesel comparisons. I don't care about that. We're not applying emission while yapping. And then explain how closing Thika Road Matatu strike will open the Strait of Hormuz and how stopping Kenya's head into Nairobi CBD using private cars and legs will end the US-Israel-Iran war to stabilize the fuels. Yes, that's the question. That's the question. Let's hear what Uhuru said.
Hey, angalia hii bei imepanda. Uliza Uhuru. Yaani mimi Uhuru niko Ukraine, mimi ninafanya nini huko? Jameni.
Look, he's right because, you know, it is, how do we say it? These guys don't have the power to control the prices. They might do some nominal things locally to try and stabilize or what, but it's always going back to subsidizing something. If it's not coming from the market, it's being subsidized by the government. So let's see, today 4 ways burnt by Gachagua goons. So just ignore burnt by Gachagua goons because normally this is somebody just saying stuff. So but let's see.
Tufunge.
Bro, can I tell you something, guys? Mimi, these people who destroy property, like, I just know they're not builders. I know they're not good people. Like, these are the worst, the most evil people. Because this guy, assuming this is some guy, I'm not going to impugn anyone for having a business because I love businessmen more than the whiners that were talking bad about businesses. So a guy like this has invested millions, the oil, the water, the infrastructure. Then you guys have just come in a few minutes and burnt it all down. Then what happens? Is the fuel price going to go down? No, it's not gonna. You're just a bad person. You're just a destroyer. You don't build anything. That's how we are. Like, if you go worldwide where you see these protests where guys go and they destroy things, just know who they are. They might even shout at the top of their voices how they're fighting for the greatest thing. But no, these people are some of the worst people you'll ever meet because they have no interest in building. They are so quick to destroy things. They don't understand the effort it takes, the sacrifice it takes to build things. So they burn here, ametoka hapo sijui Madhare or whatever, just burn things, just ghetto, just normal ghetto thinking. That's the fact. And this frustrates me because the people you want to pander to the poor and mediocre because you think what? When they come and burn properties and houses and cars and whatnot, you want to give it they like to call it righteous anger or whatever the hell. You voted for these people and you still do, and you're still following them. You are just a bad person. You're just an envious idiot who wants to burn people's properties. Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, you see, like now there are people maybe who have businesses over here, shops and whatnot. Can M-Pesa shop, and you can scare the business person cry. I think it's a woman. All these shops, healthcare, pharmacies, all across. And up to this side. Sites. Kibera is silent, Umoja is cool, Doni is cool, Omabe is cool, Kericho is peaceful, blah, 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 Ringo is peaceful, Machakos. People don't want to deal with this bullshit because they realize it's not really up to them. To put the balance into context, the cost of the fuel has gone up by 70 bob per liter in the last 2 months with the growing public anger, which might trigger one huge and final wave of process that will change this country forever. You're full of Tuko Kadi. You're very stupid. You are very dumb and naive. You've had a bigger one. You went to parliament and went there and sat. What happened? Just some of you got taken out. That was the end of it. What changed? Did Ruto go? Did Ruto go? Because this is because people like to act emotionally and there are no results. But you want to go here and do these things primarily because you want to steal from other people or not go to work, the work that you hate, that pays your bills. All these are goons. If you go here, they'll rob you and they'll steal and they'll break your car. I've actually been in a position where I was going to Maseno one time. I drove from Nairobi when they were, I can't remember what the protests were there. But when I got there and I got there a bit late, man, I had to pay toll. They had put barricades on the road. I had to pay toll on every till to get to where my client wanted me to go and film. And I spent like an extra 2,000 shillings because just I had to break it down into hundreds and 50s and what, so that I can pass giving people so they can't burn the car I was in. Small Toyota, they want to burn everything. Maybe you've put all your money in your small Toyota. But these guys don't care. That's why I don't support protests, because they are for these people, these thugs, looking for a way to destroy and steal. Nasikia mnachoma watu acid kwa sababu wamechora tattoo yangu ndio hii ni kujieni. Putting a tattoo, I think this is AI, but putting a tattoo of Ruto is diabolical. So it's happening, guys. It's going home. We are regrouping again. This is 3 hours ago. Sifuna updates. We maintain this for 3 days. Game over. Police will get tired and we have our way. They are over 100,000 there. And we are 55 million. No, you think people have the money to spend their time doing this? You see? So people are just standing there. Where is this? This is idleness. This is not achieving anything. This is just being idle. You're just going to waste time. A whole productive Monday is going to waste because you guys have to cut this nonsense out. Decision amongst them to gift shilling 12 to private companies causing the punitive fuel costs. While cartels rake super profits must be reversed ASAP and all corrupt public officials will benefit. Price controls must be removed for competition to lower prices. I don't do price controls. When was this? 2021. Oh, okay. That's this. Tension in Makutano Meru. As North MP Rahim Dawood was chased away by protesters during the ongoing Matatu strike after attempting to address the crowd, the situation remains tense. Now, this if I think some of these politicians don't really know how popular they are on the ground, so they just show up, think, "Nyamaseni tutafanya hii mambo pole pole." So all these people, yeah, yes, of course. Weru TV. So people they've thrown the stones, they'll burn more things. Call me will sustain the match times until 5 a.m. But the Matatus are not losing money over this. They'll do it for, even today in the morning they did some business. Johnny will do tomorrow, it's back to business. What's going on here?
Wameshachukua jacket.
Who are these? These are the goons. Normal goons, eh? You guys, who do you think the goons are? The goons are just the normal mwananchi being paid to act up. To go and cause chaos in protests and whatnot. Call for people to stay at home. Reject fuel price protests. Call for people to stay home and public vehicles to stay parked, not for residents and motorists to be terrorized. What's happening in Nakuru is that I mean that addressing goon culture means confronting those who enable it. You're all goons. So somebody has a pale CBD mambo yamechemka. A protester has fled for his dear freedom and life without casting his hands. He overpowered 3 afandis who had handcuffed who had handcuffed before breaking free, leaving his poor shirt. What do you mean poor shirt? Jesus Christ, do people post like just a gay? Just gay, this poor shirt. What the hell is poor? You know, like people on X, I have to tell you, X, because of the money that come here and it comes from interaction and what people are posting ridiculous, stupid things, AI videos that are fake drama. So that's, you have somebody saying it is poor shirt. What is wrong with you? Why are you gay? But also these cops, how can one person overwhelm you like that? Oh, they're grabbing. Yeah, let me tell you that song. We're just cutting clips. Let's get taswira.
Kama utaisikiza, sisi aliomba Ruto, angalia ground venye iko. Sikiza kilio ya Wakenya. Na kama utaisikiza, sisi tutakwambia tu utazega. Na tunakupatia one time. Kama sio hivyo, kama hiyo one time utakata kutoka nayo, tunachukua madimanga. Sisi hatutakunao. Sisi hatuko diglo kama Wakenya, hatuko diglo. Wacha tukwambie tu ukweli, kama Wakenya hatuko diglo. Wewe shikanisha Wakenya, usikie venye Wakenya wanalia. Sasa hatuna ngata, hiyo ngata, sikize hiyo ngata venye imepanda, ishukishe. Ama ni aje mraia?
No, I'm not listening to these airheads. You are the people who voted for him at Yasla Nation. Shut your mouth. This, you see the problem with people who have no power. They just have microphones to talk into. And they also don't have brains to actually strategize. They just think tutachukua mawe. That's the first thing you think. Kitu yenye unataka kufanya ya kwanza ni destroy things because of a politician. Are you stupid? Yes, it's a rhetorical question. Of course you're stupid. Because you voted for him and now you want to destroy the country because of your bias remorse. You destroy other people's things because of Ruto. Because he didn't bring the cost of fuel down. Are you mad? Ruto has very little power in terms of bringing, unless you want the government to impose upon us price controls. You don't want to do that, you idiot. Look at everywhere that they're trying. It's destroying economies. First of all, Diglo and Biglo and Gen Z nonsense. Hauna power ya kufanya. Wewe akili yako ni ndogo. The only thing you think about is to destroy things, and you think you are better than Ruto. Eti tufanyie kitu ama tutadestroy. Shut up, child. Haujui kitu, nyinyi hamjui kitu. Hakuna kitu mnaambia wasee hapa. There's nothing you're telling people about eti sijui kitu mtafanya kwa nini? Is this an AI image? Yeah, it's an AI image. Yeah, okay. I saw the thing at the bottom. But this is what I'm saying. Like, who youth? What is saying eti mtafanya nini?
Omba, Ruto, angalia ground venye iko. Sikiza kilio ya Wakenya.
You think you guys did protest and got into the parliament and sat there and did what and what? It was broadcast across the world. You got your hashtags and whatnot. Then what changed? Hizi madiglo na mabiglo, you want to destroy things because of Ruto. You are very stupid, young man. Wewe ni mjinga. Wewe huyu youth. Wewe ni mjinga. Eti mawe. So utapika Ruto mawe? Ama you are going to destroy your neighbors' things and burn their things. Na uwaibie. Acheni ujinga. You're just like him. No different. Okay, so tuendelee. So, by the way, this is not saying, because we have our cartels for oil here, and also we have OPEC, the biggest cartel. Those are the people who run the prices. Even presidents in this country can't overcome them because they are tied to those ones, and those ones have more money than God. They can start a war right now for oil. Right? They've done it how many times? So, context. So, huyu kijana pia mwache ujinga. How is it that you're going to eti mnataka vitu ziimprove, lakini your first thought of action ni kuenda kudestroy vitu, eti mawe. Sisi mtaenda mchome vitu, mkate watu, ndio nini ikue? Maumbwa nyinyi. Let's listen to some more people. Oh, this is the guy who's been chased from Meru. North Imenti, Rahim Dawood. My friend, Mwindi ameenda Imenti na amekuwa MP, no joke.
Hiyo 50 bob. So, serikali inafaa sasa ifikirie maneno ya wananchi.
Do you know the guy who's telling you serikali ifikirie mambo ya wananchi? He's in an MP, he's in government. Like, I think you guys need to like wake up, because even the people you're putting for, they're in government right now. What are they doing in government right now other than protest? I don't want to hear anything about protest. Is not work. Delivering on employment, investment, agriculture, whatnot, infrastructure. That is what I don't care about the protests. This is a smoke screen for the incompetence that you've shown for years.
Maisha imekuwa ngumu sana, na maisha ikiwa ngumu hatutaweza kuendelea nchi. Hivyo hatuwezi. Ni muhimu serikali sasa itikie wito ya wananchi kwamba wapunguze bei ya mafuta. Kwanza waondoe taxes yote. Waondoe hiyo. Waondoe 8% ya VAT. Waondoe hiyo road maintenance levy ya 25 shillings. Waondoe kila kitu. Ndio pesa yetu ipunguke hiyo, alafu ndio sasa kazi iendelee. Sasa leo vile iko maandamano leo, biashara inaharibika. Wenye matatu wale wako na deni ya kulipa wameshindwa, watalipa bank namna gani?
See, who protested, so they didn't do business. People just speak from different orifice. Just saying that.
Lazima iletwe hiyo mswada, iletwe na Minister for Finance ama Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah alete kutoka kwa serikali. Bunge ikiletwa tujadilie hiyo maneno.
These are your people. You voted for them. Yeah, is they telling you maneno? I'm not listening to that one. I say the Kenyattas are the thieves who stole 100 billion from Kenyans who are building the expressway. Everybody's trying to. Wanjigi hata we ni mwizi. Nyamaza. Kipchumba, tattoo lady, other tattoo President Ruto has visited by CS Kipchumba and Kenyatta tattoo. So was she hurt? What happened? So somebody has a tattoo of Ruto. That's a good hustle, by the Tito Ruto anaweza kuona kuachie.
Madam Rachel, thank you for
What? She can't. So this guy is doing his PR thing. I need to find out what this is. Let's find out together. The hell? Let's find out. Tattoo lady. This one. Hii ndio itakuwa maybe nitafanya mwisho hapa, because that was you guys. Let's find out. In certain regions we see the their torch. So is this a T?
alikuwa na stickers za UDA na alikuwa na bendera ya UDA. One of the vehicle that was carrying gadgets za UDA has just been banned because huyu jamaa amejaribu kusimamishwa. Alikuwa na stickers za UDA na alikuwa na bendera ya UDA. So gari imeweza kuchoma kwa sababu huyu ni mtu wa two term na ako na stickers za UDA ndani ya gari, na hata si Mkenya, ni Mburundi. Hakuwa Mkenya, alikuwa Mburundi na alikuwa na stickers za UDA.
So does that mean you banned
one of the vehicle that
who tattooed? We want to play politics, the death of this lady who tattooed Ruto's image on her body. Yes, the police go through it. So oh Lord of mercy. Who disowned by husband, the level politics intolerance should be What the hell is this? Let me just listen.
Imenifikisha hapo. Chora hata yetu hapa kando.
Sikufikiria hivyo.
Minds zangu zote zilikuwa tu na ngoma, si unaona sasa usanii nayo. Ndio imenifikisha hapo mambo ya usanii. Siko nataka ati doa iishe. Hata iko mapenzi yangu. Bana.
You're tattooing another man's image.
So kuanzia usiku conversation iliendelea aje labda sasa na yule mpenzi wako sasa?
Sasa mpenzi wangu asubuhi sasa watoto nikatayarisha wakaenda shule. Na sasa akaamka akaniambia sasa ni masaa ya kutoka.
Anakuambia wewe?
Si ndio. Hawezi kaa na mtu wa 2 term na yeye ni wa 1 term. Halafu sasa picha nyingine nimechora ya president na sie nimechora.
Hebu director kuja uonesha na hii tattoo yenye huyu amechora hapa hivi. Tattoo yenyewe ndio hiyo unaona. Ni William Ruto kabisa. Alafu pale maandika pale kwa Bruka ngamaandika 2 term.
So you see what the politics is doing now. Like in America, you have people anti-Trump, pro-Trump. Now they're also saying you can't date the. You see how we are being infected by the same virus. So this lady was hurt, was attacked, and burnt. Is it the same?
Pole kijana mdogo. Tam, uonyeshe kwenye maandiko tam. Hizi ni tam, alafu 2 tam. Tunyonye serikali.
That's
she's
not even, come on. Acid poured on her simply for holding a different. Oh my goodness. How did you? So this is the thing. One-term people. This has destroyed. This is going to be used by this government so bad that you actually went, because this is the thing. You can't start attacking people. There are people you can put a tattoo of whoever you want, and you can support whoever you want. But now you want to take out people because of that. Of course, this is why I've been against you guys all this time, because you're not good people. You're just opportunists using this to make noise and steal and cause damage like this. Yes, you are poor. Let's be honest about it. The fact that you've done this to this person because, yes, she's an idiot, putting a tattoo and then her husband, and she's an idiot on her way, but she's not that. Because if it was for everybody to be taken out who was made idiotic decisions, you guys, Hustler Nation, all of you should be gone. Yes? Nyinyi ndio mnajiweka hapo saa hii eti nyinyi ndio mko mbele fighting Ruto na nyinyi ndio mlimweka. Ujinga kabisa. This is so sad. Naona nyinyi mnaenda street karau wanapiga, so mnaenda hivi you take it out on a citizen. This is very sad. I'm sorry. That one has anyway. Then that's that. So your protests, there they are. Nothing will change, by the way. Nothing is going to change. Nothing, and especially now that you've done this and you've become violent, nothing is going to change. And in fact, now they're going to double down to make sure you don't have the capacity to do this again. The next time you're trying to do this protest, the cops will come out harsher and harsher. You don't have the capacity. I hear some people talking here saying, oh, you don't have the capacity to fight this government, do whatever. Because really, this is absolutely ridiculous. I didn't know. I saw the chick she was standing next to her Benz with the UDA colors, and so like, hey man, acid. Hey, anywho, let's switch to more international news. Now there's this Hantavirus. So we've had in the last few weeks Hantavirus outbreak and Ebola, which is more recent. So let's listen into BBC what they are saying. It's just a report. They report, then I give you my thoughts.
On a cruise ship, and that's led to the death of some passengers. So there's been an outbreak of Hantavirus on a cruise ship, and that's led to the death of some passengers. So what do we know about this virus?
What is Hantavirus?
Well, Hantavirus, it's named after a river in South Korea, and that word, Hantavirus, really describes a sort of family of viruses. Around 20 viral species have been identified, according to the World Health Organization. It's not just one infection. It's really serious, but it's also relatively rare, and it's linked to exposure to rats and mice.
It's always the dirty people. It's always where there's most dirt.
Risk is typically highest when someone's doing something like, for example, cleaning out a building that's had a rodent infestation. So most of the human cases are reported in rural settings, such as forests, fields or farms, where rodents are present, and that means the opportunities for exposure are greatest.
Where could this outbreak have come from?
That's a really, really important question, and the answer is we don't yet know. All the cases are linked to this cruise ship, the MV Hondius, which set sail from the very southern tip of Argentina at the very beginning of April. But the first two fatalities, who were a Dutch couple, they're reported to have travelled through South America before boarding the ship. Now, that's really important because it's possible that one or both of them came into contact with the virus during their travels. And
now, I just needed to get a little of what it is. Let me ask Odiero over here. Odiero, quick question here. What are people to be concerned about with the Hantavirus, and what's the situation at this particular moment about the outbreak? Oh, he didn't answer. Anyway, so yeah. So anyway, let's go back here. We listen to what CNN gotta say.
3 people are dead, and at least 3 others are sick after a suspected outbreak of what's called Hantavirus aboard a cruise ship. Now, the vessel is currently anchored off the coast of Africa with nearly 150 people on board, while health officials try to figure out next steps. Here's CNN's Larry Madoa.
A suspected outbreak of hantavirus on board this cruise ship crossing the Atlantic Ocean. The MV Hondius, operated by Oceanwide Expeditions, departed Ushuaia on the southern tip of Argentina over a month ago. Details of the suspected outbreak emerged as it was anchored in Praia, the capital of Cape Verde, an island nation off the coast of West Africa, on Sunday. One American travel blogger on board issuing this tearful message.
We're not just a story. We're not just headlines.
Oh, for crying out loud, dude. What is it, the Americans and everything? You just have to, you have to crank it up to 1,000 and everything. Why are you crying? That you're not just a story. This guy.
We're people with families, with lives.
We know that already. Let me tell you something. There's something I really hate about Americans and the way they tried these days, the way they've really perfected this victim narrative building. They just build a narrative victim. They just, everything is the end of the world. And this soy-infused man here crying about this thing, as I've found out, it's not as communicative. It's spreading around. It's dangerous, but it's not like COVID or anything like that. But like spreading quickly. So anyway, let's see what this guy has to cry about.
With people waiting for us at home. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part.
Why does he sound like a woman? Yeah, these people, they've been messed up. The men in America, especially this guy, there's no way this guy is conservative. This guy is absolutely a leftist. I was just crying. What? I don't care. I have no... This is a guy now who should be there. Maybe he's with these people and what. He should be one who's like, okay, guys, calm down. He should be the guy, but he's the guy breaking down. Probably gay. I mean, it sounds...
All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home.
Cape Verdean authorities have refused to allow anyone to disembark. Yeah. However, local health authorities visited the ship and assessed 2 symptomatic crew members requiring urgent medical care, Oceanwide Expeditions said in a statement. There are 17 Americans among the 149 people on board, according to Oceanwide.
Yeah,
The
one of
company
them
told
has cried, so we have to talk about the 17, not the other 100. Big first word. Privileges.
CNN it is, quote, currently focused on the health and safety of passengers and crew. Humans most commonly get infected with hantavirus through contact with rodents like mice or rats, especially
When
the
you
urine.
live in a dirty place where it's infested with rats and all types of rodents.
Droppings and saliva, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. Early symptoms include fatigue, fever, and muscle aches, as well as headaches, dizziness, chills, and abdominal problems.
it could
Human-to-human
be malaria.
transmission is rare, the World Health Organization says.
To have this many people clustered together on a ship, most public health officials would be looking for human-to-human transmission, and I'm sure this is going to be investigated tremendously, but that would be where the arrows are pointing right now.
So far, it's not clear how the suspected infections on the ship occurred. The first death on board this ship happened April 11. The body of a 70-year-old Dutch man was taken to the island of St. Helena, a remote island in the South Atlantic, according to South Africa's Department of Health. His wife later collapsed at an airport while trying to fly home and died in hospital. At this time, it is not confirmed that these two deaths are connected to the current medical situation on board, the operator said.
Why is it taking
The World-
so long? Like, you should have known that already.
World Health Organization says it is facilitating between member states and the ship's operators on a full public health risk assessment, but added, quote, the risks to the wider public remains low. There is no need for panic or travel restrictions.
That is what I wanted to come to, because it was looking like they wanted to pull a COVID-19 up over there. You guys now, you need to stay home. I am extremely skeptical of these people, especially WHO, CDC, because for that time they just took us for a ride. But this one, at least, that I think that that propaganda worked against them so much. They've lost so much trust of the public that they kind of have to play it nice now. They have to give us accurate information, not trying to drive us into hysteria. I saw some articles, BBC were trying to drive hysteria. Oh, but really, after I did a bit of research, I just realized it's not as communicative. And really, you have to... The close, you see the husband and the wife, you are pamoja all the time, you're exchanging saliva. That would happen. But unless that happens, and also I think the infection rates are very low. So there's that. So I just wanted to talk about that for a sec. There's Ebola, which I don't want to talk about. I've just realized something. I don't want to talk about it exactly right now in depth. I'm just going to listen to this. So, okay. So, before I go, I continue. I forgot this. So this channel says that the Hantavirus is a scam. All right. I mean, I'm open to it.
So Hantavirus is all the rage now, and they're using the same playbook. They're trying to scare everybody. CNN's talking about lockdowns.
That's what I meant. That's what I heard. Yeah.
Moderna has a vaccine in the works for this, right?
Who wants to guess, even with the low incidences, that they are going to kind of mandate this kind of virus, maybe if you're traveling, this kind of vaccine if you're traveling? Who wants to guess? Who wants to bet with me on that one?
And again, you got a better chance of being hit by lightning, a 6-time better chance of being hit by lightning than you do of catching Hantavirus.
No, that's what I was saying.
That's according to Dr. Robert Malone, who, by the way, was right about everything about COVID. So I'm willing to trust him on it. And so here's another one of these fake, the thing that get caught lying. So here they are all dressed in hazmat suits. But guess what? There's going to be a guy without a hazmat suit just going to walk right up into him. Let's watch.
I saw this video. This is interesting. Watch.
Down. So they're look, it's super scary.
This guy.
Comes a guy, no hazmat suit, no nothing, not even a gas mask, no
There's
nothing.
Another guy at the
There's
back.
another guy. There's another guy.
And then
there.
just a few feet away, they're spraying each other. I love the fact that these days we have cameras, and whatever you think you're doing something in secret, somebody's recording you or try to be smart.
regular clothes.
Right.
Over there.
It's kind of amazing. He doesn't even have gloves on. So
This
there's
is
two
for the
guys just
cameras.
kind of stumble
It's
into this.
performative.
Meanwhile, everybody else is dressed like they're on the moon.
And the guy is
And,
shaking. If there was Hunter in there.
They're doing it again because you didn't hang them last time.
This is, I'm telling you, I can laugh and whatnot, but I have such bile for a lot of people who are pushing for the lockdowns of that time of the COVID. I have such bile because I lost about 70% of my business and I've never been able to recover. Like I had enough clients to and then there were jobs just coming on the regular, and then that thing changed so much the way they locked people down for like 2 years. It was like, not like consistent, but there was a lot of restrictions for at least 2 years, heavy. Small businesses, we suffered. I hate those people. The way they were driving up the hysteria, just based on political side leanings, by the way. It was not based on any science. We were listening. I got an A in biology. Some of the things they were saying, I'm like, hi, God, no. And eventually, whatever I thought was true came to be because they were lying through their behinds.
Precisely.
So, So when you see a video like, let me show it again. Let's just show it again. So here they are all dressed up like they're fighting Ebola on the moon. And there's a guy just walking right by. Nothing. And then here's another guy.
Just walk.
This is just amazing
Just
to
walk.
me.
They're here.
He's picking up all their stuff, putting it in a bag. He doesn't even have gloves on. He doesn't have a hazmat
So why
suit
is that
on.
guy being sprayed?
This is amazing.
Just lies. It's for show. For idiots. For people who don't know the difference.
Doesn't have gloves on. So when you see something like this, Brian, what does this tell you about Hantavirus and what's happening?
Well, first of all, hantavirus is not transmissible by respiratory droplets, and it's very, very rarely transmissible between humans. There's a variant called Andes that is transmissible between humans, but it's much more fecal oral than it is through respiratory droplets.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
So,
you have to be very close to exchange saliva or touch the feces.
you know, this is all for the cameras. You know, all of this is to stoke more fear porn. You know, even Fauci has surfaced recently saying that we need to practice masking, social distancing, something that he told us earlier that was a lie.
When they come out with that, I just feel like finding wherever that guy is. What audacity do you have to come out and start talking about masking again? Like, what is wrong with these people?
Now going back on his line saying, oh, hantavirus, you know, it's a big deal. It's a big problem. It could be spreadable. But, you know, they're basically greasing their own palms, you know, vaccine. Trying to get
in the
more
end,
money.
It's the vaccine. That's usually the end. All this blah, blah, blah. Then they say you need a vaccine. And then there's these companies that are supplying that. And these guys have shares.